Okay.
I'm
Well,
sure they'll let you back.
Well, that's another point.
that's rather downbeat. Let me lift it up a bit. I found what I thought was a nice feel-good study. This one was small acts of kindness at work benefit the giver and the receiver and the whole organisation. Now, my mother used to say it's better to give than to receive, and I thought, well, I'll read this then to see if there's anything in what she was telling me. So these guys at the University of California, they studied workers from Coca-Cola at their Madrid site. Now, I don't know why they say this, but I suppose they have to. They say, well, they were mostly female, but they were from a range of departments, and they were told they were part of a happiness study to kind of throw them off the scent. And they had to check in once a week for a month to tell people how they were feeling in terms of their mood and their life satisfaction and blah, blah, blah. But some of them had been primed that during the research period they had to go around and do little acts of kindness. Maybe they wouldn't normally have done, like offer somebody a drink or send them an email saying thank you. Peter's very keen that we keep these acts of kindness very small. You don't want over generous.
We don't like to spoil people, do you?
Oh, right, I see. Yeah, Scrooge. So anyway, do you offer people cups of coffee, Peter? Is that in your natural repertoire behaviour at work?
One of my clients, where I spent a fair bit of time, I bought my own mug, my own thing of coffee, because the coffee they have is rubbish, and this is gold blend or something. And out of occasional bit of kindness, I let someone else have a bit sometimes. That's pretty good, don't you? Yeah.
What, Hilary, at the office, do you generally sort of say thank you, offer little?
I do, and I offer to make people tea.
David?
I'm probably Richard at work has got to be in his bonnet with me at the moment, because every time I walk to the printer I only pick up my stuff and walk back, so I probably need to work on my acts of kindness a little bit more.
Well, it is an act of kindness leaving it behind, because then it's still where they left it.
Absolutely, and he's got to get his steps in every day. So.
Absolutely right. Keep fit.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, whichever way you look at it, you three people should actually get a benefit out of this. It should pay off for you, because it said that the acts of kindness didn't go unnoticed. The receivers observed more pro-social behaviour in the office. So in other words, the receivers who were getting these, they didn't know this was happening, but they just kept saying, well, I don't know, everybody seems to be much more positive these days, and they felt happier at work. They reported 10 times more pro-social behaviour than the people who weren't involved. And they felt more autonomy at work. That's interesting, isn't it? It also said that
it'll cut both ways, won't it? The person doing the act of kindness and the person receiving the act of kindness, they'll both feel good. Yeah. The person receiving it will then do it for someone else, and it will carry on, and you end up with
ripple effect.
Either a very happy environment or one where you finally get to the stage of going, no, I don't want a cup of tea. Stop asking me. But there's a medium point in between.
Well, it did actually. When they opened up the study, apparently in the introduction, they said, that they wondered if some people would find these little acts of kindness a damn nuisance, and you feel indebted. You might feel indebted if I offer you a cup of tea. Would you feel indebted to give me?
Absolutely.
I bet you would.
I would.
Sure,
you
would.
Yeah. Anyway, I'd find a way to pay you back.
This, by the way, this is reported in the Journal of Emotion. So there's a whole journal about emotional responses. But you're right, Hilary, the whole idea was that this feeds forward, that the receiver of a small act of kindness just generally starts, what's happening to Peter?
My knee's gone. Don't worry, no, carry on.
A small act of kindness, can somebody rub his knee? Where's it gone?
David.
We all link up.
No, thank you.
Well, that threw me for a moment. I've never had a guest expire on me. I couldn't see him. I could just hear a noise.
It was touch and go there, but I'm still here.
Anyway, 1 month follow-up measures. Givers actually had higher levels of life satisfaction and job satisfaction and fewer depressive symptoms than the receivers, which is what my mum said. It's better to give than to receive. But they also said because of the pay forward, all that pro-social behaviour was better for the whole productivity at work. So there's a payoff for everybody.
Did you read that bit about which I thought was really good? It said that if you're spending money, you could be much happier if rather than spending on material things, you pay someone else to work for you.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. The person that spends, who pays them, who instead of sitting in your lawn chair while someone else does the work, that's far more fulfilling and makes for greater happiness than if you're going out and buying a new car with your money.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right,
It's interesting.
Certainly, the whole idea about buying stuff, definitely, and people are paying for experiences rather than things. But I've not heard this before.
No, I thought it was very
if you sit there in your deck chair and watch the person in the heat rushing up and down the garden, blowing your motor, you feel good about
great.
it.
You think, God, that could be me.
That's right. Thank God I afford to pay him to do it instead of me.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't think that's quite in the spirit of this. But
it's true. It wasn't my thought. It was actually published research.
Was it?
Yeah. There's
No,
a
I
couple
have
of
to
days
ask
ago.
it.
I don't know the source, but I'm sure it's the Daily
Probably
Mail.
fake
Probably
news.
the Daily Mail, I'd
Fake
say.
news.
Yeah.
Yeah. It leads me on. And somebody else got something else that they...